Parkinson's law of productivity. Why we waste time? Have you ever noticed something strange? You have an assignment that is due in 30 days. You tell yourself, I have plenty of time. So you watch a few YouTube videos, scroll through social media, delay the work until tomorrow. Then tomorrow becomes next week, and before you know it, you have only one day left. Suddenly, you become incredibly productive. You finish hour of work in a single night. So here's the question. If you could finish it in one day, why did you need 30? The answer lies in one of the most fascinating productivity principles ever discovered. It is called Parkinson's law. And once you understand it, you will never look at the time same way. And when you understand it, you will never look at the time the same way again. Let's travel back to the year 1955. A British historian named Cyril Northcote Parkinson was studying how government offices work. While observing organization, he noticed something unusual. The amount of work did not depend on how difficult the task was. Instead, the work seemed to grow depending on how much time people had to complete it. He summarized his observation in one famous sentence: work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. This became known as Parkinson's law. But what does that actually mean? Imagine your teacher gives you two different assignments. The first assignment must be submitted next month. The second assignment is due tomorrow morning. Both assignments require about 3 hours of actual work. Which one are you likely to finish first? Most people will complete the one due tomorrow. Complete one due tomorrow. Not because it's easier, but because the deadline forces them to focus. The longer deadline creates the illusion that there is a plenty of time, and that illusion leads to procrastination. Let's look at another example. Imagine cleaning your room. If someone says, take the whole day, you will probably check your phone, take unnecessary breaks, rearrangings that don't really matter. Maybe even stop for snacks. Why should take 1 hour? End up taking the entire day. Now imagine your friends are arriving in 30 minutes. Suddenly, you become a cleaning machine. You know exactly what matters. You ignore distraction. And somehow, the room is clean before the doorbell rings. The task did not change. The time did. This happens this happens because our brain naturally adapts to the time available. When we have extra time, we often use it, sometimes without even realizing it. We overthink, we overplan, we chase perfection, we keep, we keep making tiny improvements that don't create meaningful results. Instead of finishing the work, we stay busy looking productive. This is one of the biggest reasons why people struggle with productivity. It's not always a lack of motivation, it is often a lack of clear time limits. Now, here is something important. Parkinson's law does not mean rushing every task. It does not mean sacrificing quality. Instead, it teaches us to give ourselves realistic but challenging deadlines because constraints create focus. When time is limited, our brain naturally prioritizes what actually matters. We stop worrying about unimportant detail, we make decisions faster, and we take action instead of endlessly planning. So, how can you use Parkinson's law in your daily life? The first strategy is set shorter deadlines. If a task normally takes 4 hours, challenge yourself to finish it in 2.5. You will be surprised how much unnecessary time disappears. The second strategy is break large projects into smaller deadlines. Instead of saying, I will finish this project by the end of the month, create weekly goals or even daily goals. Small deadline creates constant momentum, and momentum beats motivation every time. The third strategy is use a timer. Give yourself 30, 40, or 60 minutes to complete one specific task. During that time, remove distractions, turn off notifications, close unnecessary tabs, and focus on just one thing. You will often accomplish more in one focused hour than in an entire distracted afternoon. The fourth strategy is avoid perfectionism. Many people delay finishing their work because they want everything to be perfect. But perfection is often the enemy of progress. Done is usually better than endlessly improving something that is already good enough. Now, let's be honest. Have you ever studied only the night before an exam? Have you ever finished a presentation just minutes before the deadlines? Have you ever wondered how you and suddenly become so productive? That was not magic. That was Parkinson's law in action. The deadline forced your brain to eliminate distraction and focus only what mattered. But imagine if you could create that same level of focus without waiting until the last minute. Imagine completing project earlier, experiencing less stress, producing better work, and having more free time. This is the real power of understanding this principle. However, there is one important warning. If your deadline becomes too short, they can create unnecessary stress and reduce the quality of your work. The goal is not to rush, the goal is to eliminate wasted time. The best deadlines are challenging enough to keep you focused but realistic enough to maintain quality. So, let's back to the Parkinson famous observation. Work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. It's a simple sentence, but it explains why we procrastinate, why we waste time, and why we often perform our best under pressure. The next time you catch yourself saying, I will do it later, ask yourself one question. Do I really need all this time, or I have simply given myself too much of it? Because productivity is not about working longer, is not about staying busy, and it certainly is not about filling every hour with work. Real productivity is about using your time with intention, giving yourself meaningful deadlines, taking action before you feel ready, and remembering that sometimes the biggest obstacle is not the amount of work in front of you, it's the amount of time you have allowed yourself